Hello and welcome to ENCY Tutorials. In this tutorial, we will be learning how to do a face milling operation. We are going to start this tutorial where we left off on the last tutorial. So if you're wondering how we got here, please look at the previous tutorials. The first thing I'm going to do is turn off the machine visibility icon. Now we are going to pick the face milling operation from the operations table. If you click on Add an Operation, you get this list right here. You can also just click on this small arrow here and go down to 3D Entry and Face Milling. From the previous tutorial, we know that we have an additional 0.55 millimeters worth of material above the part. So we need to face that off. I have selected the face milling operation, and now I'm going to double click on face milling, and this will bring up our libraries. I'm going to select the tutorial library that we had made in the previous tutorials, and I'm going to select my 75 millimeter face mill, and then come down here and click Select Tool for the operation, and then OK. Now I want to turn on my tool visibility and holder visibility icons. So you can see the 75 millimeter face mill has been generated above the part. At this point, I am just going to come up here and click Play to generate a toolpath. Now to see that toolpath, we need to turn it on in the toolpath visibility icon. And this is what ENCY has generated without any further direction from us. It's definitely a workable face milling operation, but it may or may not be exactly what you want. So we can go down to Strategy and look at some of the things that we can change to make it better for us. This is on a spiral strategy. You can pick Optimize Zigzag, Zigzag, One Way, or One Pass. For Optimize Zigzag, once I click on this arrow to generate the toolpath, you'll see it just goes back and forth. And the reason why it's optimized is because the cutter never absolutely leaves the material. It just goes as far as it needs to go and then continues on till the end. Let's take a look at Zigzag. Zigzag is very much like Optimize Zigzag. However, the cutter is completely leaving the material before it re-engages. Now let's take a look at One Way. One Way shows that the cutter will take one swipe in this direction, pick up, come over the part, come back down, take another swipe, and do so again. I am going to pick Optimize Zigzag for my face milling operation. Now I could take all 0.55 millimeters of material off at once, or if we go down here where we see number of passes, we can change some of these numbers so that we can take multiple passes. I'm going to take my depth step to 0.3 millimeters, and I'm going to put my cleanup height at 0.25 millimeters, and that is going to give me 2 passes. Now I'll come up and regenerate the toolpath, and let's click on the view cube and zoom in here a bit. And you can see there are now two passes. One that is 0.3 millimeters down and one that is 0.25 millimeters. Let's take a look at the simulation tab and see what our results are. I have the machine active on here. Let's turn the machine off and click play. This is the movement speed. You can speed up or slow down the simulation with this slider. We'll click play. And you see the tool has come down. It's coming back this way. And now it's going to finish it off. Then it should pick up and restart back here for the last 0.25 millimeters. And finish off. We'll speed it up a little bit. Now you can see if we go back into the machining tab, notice how the cutter on the machining tab is more fully fleshed out. We can do the same thing on the simulation, but once you go to the simulation tab, if you right-click on holder visibility and turn off transparency, and right-click on the tool and turn off transparency, when we do this again, the cutter will look more fully fleshed out. And you can change the colors of the holder to match whatever it is that you would like, and the color of the tool. Let's take a look at some of the other menu options. We have different parameters that we can try. The most important one down here is speeds and feeds. Remember, when we created this tool, we gave it a RPM of 2400 and a work feed of 1000 millimeters per minute. You can change these values, and then that will be what posts when you generate your code. There are many different areas in here that you can adjust the feed and speed. We can take a look at some of the safe levels, take a look at links. Safe motion means 10 millimeters from the part. So if we take a look at the safe motion of 10 millimeters, that's where this is being established. Let's change it to 5 millimeters. You'll see that that goes down now. What that is how close will the cutter rapid to before it engages a feed rate and starts to enter into the operation. So that is a good thing to know where it is. And 10 millimeters is the default setting. There are many other small settings that you can change. I recommend that while you are setting up operations, you change them and see what they do. It'll give you a good idea of what each function of each button is. This has been doing a face milling operation. I hope to see you next time when we will be doing a tutorial on roughing waterline. Remember, all the models that you see in this tutorial will be available in the link provided. Thank you.